Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I got the Redcat Kaiju, and we're going to compare it to the Traxxas 4S Maxx. I'm pretty excited about doing this one. I've been wanting to see the comparison. Haven't even popped the top off the Maxx yet. Just kind of wanted to wait and do a whole comparison and see it side by side. So, talk about the differences in what you get for your money. Obviously, the Maxx is a little bit more expensive, so we're going to see how the $130 cheaper Kaiju stacks up to what the Maxx is and what features it has with it. So, a little disclaimer: I am sick. This video should have been done 2 days ago. I had plans on running this truck this weekend, but I'm feeling a little bit better today. I'm going to try to get through this. I am still sneezing and things like that here and there. Try to keep my snifflings down and things like that, but I got to get this done because I want to run this thing tomorrow and I want to have it clean for this video. And then I might bring it back and do the Outcast video after I've had a chance to drive this and actually have a better talking points as far as the difference between the $150 selling those two vehicles. But so that's the plan. I hope I make it through this. You guys, bear with me though. Don't beat me up too bad if I'm sniffling or coughing or something. So, all right, let's get this comparison going. All right, so looking at them from the outside, both, again, very nice trucks. The Maxx is a little bit smaller. The tires are smaller. It looks like the overall body dimensions and wheelbase and stuff are smaller, but we'll put them side by side here and take a full look at that. All right, so we'll start with the tires. Tires got a really good feel. These hold up pretty well. I've seen them on videos. They definitely hold up pretty good with the power on them. They are not a true 17 millimeter axle, kind of like the Arma wasn't, but it does have a nice spacer in here. Makes it 17, lets you put any 17 millimeter tire you want on here. Of course, it fits with the body and all. But so it's still 17 millimeter technically, and of course the Redcat Kaiju ones are 17 millimeter. These guys will balloon as well once you get to the 6S stage. 4S, these look like they're holding up pretty well from videos and all that we've seen. And so again, 4S for 4S is what we're talking on that. But of course, 6S, these things are a little crazy. The bumper on the Maxx is very stout. It's very beefy. It's solid. We'll see how it connects in there a little bit when I get this off. But as far as twist goes and feeling, it feels very solid. The Redcat's got a little more twist to it, a little more flex. Not sure if one's better than the other. It's depending on what this looks like behind it. We'll take a quick peek at that. So let's go right to the body. Redcat's got the tether clips holders. That's nice. The Maxx has the system that they put on most of their new trucks now, which basically just snaps up, lifts up, and you can take the whole body off. The front, I find a pain in the ass to get on and off on the Revo. Let's see if this one's easier. It just pulls straight out, so that wasn't too bad. So without getting in the bottom yet, I love that feature. It's a nice feature. You can literally just pop it on and go when it works. Like I said, I struggled a little bit with the Revo in the front here and there. But like I said, I guess once you get more and more used to doing it, it's not that bad. Do applaud the skids, skid protection, the cladding. It's a bonus. Keeps the body protected. Kaiju doesn't have that. But again, that's it's a nice feature for the Maxx. So we're just talking value here. The body is definitely going to be a better value for the Maxx. It's got the inner cage here as well that just connects everything together. For the front, this is very solid as far as their connection for the body goes. So I think again, this is going to be a very durable body for bashing and holding up, and they definitely had time to practice with that and all over the years, and they've definitely came up with a nice design for that. It's got a good feel to it also. So of course the Redcat will cover most of this. It's just a basic hard Lexan body. Sides are a little flimsy, tops and all the corners are all pretty hard and solid, but decent body. Maxx is definitely looking a little better there. Now the Maxx has got some real big bore shocks as well, and these shocks are maybe about a millimeter bigger than what's on the Redcat here. They're definitely nice shocks. They got a good feel to the suspension. It's got more spring out the box than what the Redcat has. Redcat's a little slower coming up. All that can be tuned and on either one of them with oils and things like that. So they both offer you decent shocks with aluminum body and plastic tops, threaded. There's a better look at that bumper oval. So it's a pretty big oval on that, and it's got the extra support there. That's nice. It's a good setup. And this one's got the V style little bumper guards here as well. Still a nice setup to me as well. The Traxxas, I thought had lights somewhere. Maybe you gotta buy it. All right, so I mean, the first thing I'm looking at this thing, if I'm looking at it, you guys can correct me in the comments. Like, I'm scratching my head for a little bit, wondering what I would have to take off to get to the diff on these. I'm assuming it's going to happen going through the bottom here, maybe dropping these two screws. Again, I haven't worked on one of these, so just looking at it, it's very intimidating. If I were to have to get to that diff and want to change oils, where at least I can see this and know what I'm taking apart to get to it. I'm not going to, fault that on the truck or anything yet as far as that goes. It's just, it's a different design for me. I'm not aware of it, so it may be pretty easy to get to. So if guys, let me know if you have one, if it's a pain in the ass to work on or not. Just curious about that for myself. All right. The upper arms are very beefy. As far as thickness goes, they do have some flex as far as when you push them down. You get a little bit of spring to them. They're very thick. You can see them thick that way, so they're built pretty well. So arms are a little bit thicker than what is offered here on the Redcat Kaiju. The upper arm on this one is a turnbuckle link connection, so this solid piece may or may not hold up better. But it is a solid upper A arm. Now, the Maxx does the same thing. A lot of the Traxxas done, what the Arma did, and even what the Rival has done out, the comparisons I've done recently, and they went with plastic shafts. So they're very big, they're very thick. I'm not going to speak about them because I haven't seen people breaking these yet. So it's just plastic shafts, not a fan of them, but they're on here, and they may hold up, but plastic shafts. We do have the steel, I believe they're 5mm shafts on these. Plastic. It's just these plastic toe links here. Again, not knowing if it's just all plastic. It feels kind of hollow plastic. These are a steel with the plastic ends. Again, which one's better? I don't know. There's no adjustment here, so I don't know how you adjust your toe. You can't adjust it at all in the back, which as long as you keep it straight, it really doesn't matter to me. This one though, I do like to have it adjusted a little bit, but looks like they just set it and went with it. So I guess sometimes it's easier not to have that adjustment. It's one less thing you have to worry about, but some people like to fiddle with it and make the V out more in the front, or make them straight up, as close to straight as you can get them. All right, so the going back from the front here, they got this plastic brace system that goes across the center. It's good. This one doesn't have it. It does have the molded chassis cover, or the center drive shaft cover. So I guess in a way, with the molded plastic that runs from there to there, that's kind of like their brace. So yeah, it's a nice setup, but you have to take it off to kind of get to some of the stuff you want to work on. This is the large servo from the Maxx, X-Maxx. Love it. I love that they put a big, beefy servo in this truck for a small little guy like that. So it's a nice touch. The Redcat has a 25 kg aluminum case metal gear servo. So, again, that's probably fully sufficient to run this truck, but this is overkill. And again, it's probably coming in somewhere the pricing is a little bit different. They got the receiver box, nice open, same as this one. The TSM though it's a bonus. It's another bonus that Traxxas offers, where the stability management. I mean, that just really helps keep this thing in control when you're, ballooning tires and things like that. But you're paying $130 more. You can get a receiver, things like that if you want. That you're spending a little bit more money to get, or maybe you have a gyro laying around, but you could get the same setup out of that as a TSM. You can definitely um, put that on any vehicle, but that is a nice feature that it does come with it. So again, where we're talking value, you're getting that out of it. It is a 36 millimeter motor. It's something like 70. It's almost like 70. It's an odd size, but this is a 4268 2100. This is a 36 millimeter, and I think it's a 2400 on 4S. It's about 40 miles an hour out the box stock, and then you can do some gearing changes and things to make it go roughly about 55, which I think is what they say it does on the box. This one's, from what we've seen so far, I've got some people that have hit 46 on 4S. Most people are having a hard time getting anything more than that because they're trying to do it with these stock tires on 6S, and it's just not going to happen. So I think when I go out and do it, I'm going to put the spelted trenchers or something on here, and they might be a little bit more lower profile, and I'm going to lose a little bit of miles per hour than what somebody that is able to achieve the same speed on these tires, if they can control it long enough or have enough big field of grass. But I'll be about 10 miles an hour, probably less, just based on what I know from like some of the other speed runs I've done where I did strapped or non-strapped tires. So, this is still 46 on 4S. This one's 40 on 4S. Gearing's possibility on this one, of course, and then plus you have the 6S to go. The VXL system on this, I'm not sure what the amperage is on it, but I think it's probably about 150 amp, just like most of this stuff is. Comes with a nice fan, it's a nice heatsink fan on that motor. This one doesn't have it, it's just got the fins. Yes, he's got the Traxxas plug, and he's got dual Deans. So again, I'm not a big Traxxas plug fan, but I'm not a big Deans fan either when you're talking 6S. So, that's preference there. All the plugs can be changed, so I'm not going to hold it against either one of them. Battery tray design on this, unclipped somehow. I saw this somewhere, but I'm not going to sit here and make a fool of myself trying to do it. I have to read the manual to find out how to pop it. I don't want to break it or anything, but I think it just kind of like unclips somewhere here. Again, I figured out this is a strap system. To me, a little bit easier. I'm sure once I figure this out, it'll be nice and easy, but I don't know if this adjusts or what, so that you can put, 2S or the 4S pack in here, and you definitely can't run two batteries. So it pretty much limits you to a 4S battery, whereas this gives you the option for 2S, 1 4S, a 2.3S, or 1 6S. So, the straps just give you a little bit more leeway there to put different variances in there. The bucket on this is very nice. Feels very durable. Feels like it would hold up very well. The Redcat does have a little bit of a bucket bracing here. Theirs goes into the shock tower here. It's all part of the shock tower. It doesn't sound like the best stuff, but it's pretty solid. But their tower is built into their molding, so if God forbid something were to happen here, it looks like you have to replace this whole piece. Their tower's on a separate brace here, which is real big and beefy, and they have their bracing coming up to the back end of it where the body post goes. So, again, not really going to put anything down there, just calling it out. I am almost positive this is a slipper clutch in here. Forgive me again, call me out if it's not in the comments, but pretty sure it's a slipper in there. And the Redcat actually has a center diff that attaches to the rear diff pinion. So it's it's one piece that goes in the back, and all this comes off, which we are going to break this truck down eventually, and I'll do it on camera for guys, because it is a little intimidating to me as well. Just knowing that this diff runs from here and all that, I would have to take off to get that out. I'm sure once I do it, it won't be that big of a deal, but I'll do it with you guys if you haven't done it yet, and or at least give guys that are looking to see it a chance to do it without feeling too intimidated. Let's see, the rear bumper oval is the same as the front. Good durable bumper back there. Wheelie bar's got a little spring to it, a little movement. That might cause it to walk a little bit. If you throw it back too much, you might get that rock. And one tire will shoot off before the other one will, but we'll see. This one feels much more durable. I don't know how bashing, come down hard on the bashing, you're probably going to break both of them. But as far as just popping back on a wheelie, this is going to give you a solid stop. And this one's kind of springy, which maybe is better, but again, you're going to get that like walk when it goes like that for most of those. So while the Maxx looks smaller, has the smaller tires, sits down a little bit lower side by side, it actually, if you look at it, we're lined up about as center as I possibly can be here, and it winds up being a couple millimeters longer than center in the front. So it's a couple millimeters longer on the wheelbase. The overall trucks are sitting almost nose for nose and rear for rear. So again, that's lengthwise they're very similar as far as that goes. Design of the bottom skids are also pretty similar. The Maxx is raised up a little bit more here. It dips down a little bit, so the chassis bucket itself is actually raised up more. Gives it that appearance of the higher ground clearance. When your skids are still here, and the ground clearance is actually probably about the same. We'll take a look at that when we flip it over. But the Redcat's going to be a little higher just because it's got the bigger tires on it. So that's not really a fair comparison, because these tires will fit on this truck as well and give you the same ground clearance. They are some nice beefy arms. They definitely thick. There's a lot of openings. They're very open, but thickness of them are very nice. That's like 12 millimeters, almost 11. So it's only about a millimeter thicker. So it's not a big deal there. Oh, they just look, they look a little bit more beefy. Maybe it's the angle I'm looking down at them at. What the hell's this? I don't know. Some factory trash. That's about it for the bottoms. All right, so here we are, guys. I mean, the Maxx has some great features that you really can't ignore. The built-in gyro. It does have the ability to, you hit the button, it flips. It'll flip itself back over if it's upside down. Now that works mainly only on hard surfaces. A lot of people aren't able to get that thing to flip over in the grass and things like that. So really, you can rock it and do the same thing with this. I actually seen somebody do that the other day. I was watching a video yesterday, and somebody rocked theirs and got it up too. So you can do the same thing. You just got to stay on the trigger and go back and forth, and the truck does it itself if you hit the button, as long as you're in not a harder area, not a softer area. So yeah, that's a nice feature still, regardless. Good power system in it. It's 4S again versus 6S, so we're definitely going to have more power and amperage and things coming out of this truck. But in whole, when we're talking, you're comparing a 4 to 6S truck that costs $400 to a 4S truck that is costing $529. So there's going to be people out there that look at the two and say, well, I'm going to get the 6S truck for $100 and some dollars cheaper, and you wouldn't be wrong. You wouldn't be picking up a bad product, and you're going to have your people that are willing to spend $130 more, and you're going to get a good product. I mean, the Maxx is a nice truck. I'm not going to put it down in any way. Again, I said things I don't like about it as far as the shafts and stuff go, and this tray kind of makes me a little leery, but again, other than that, it's still not a bad truck. It's just you're paying for those features, and you're paying for lack of some things that they could have went a little beefier with, or like the shafts and all. So again, the truck is worth it to somebody. There's people out there as Traxxas fanboys, and I used to be one of them, that would just die all over this. Like 4S, give it to me. I don't care. $529, that's fine. But when we start looking at what is in the 5-something market, you're right there by a Creighton, for 550. You're at the same price as a Team Corrali 1/6 scale that does 70 miles an hour out the box. It's very much like the Creighton, but you're at that price point. So that's something you really have to sit down and think about. Hey, am I going to get this Maxx? Or hey, if I'm spending that 530, why don't I spend it on this instead? Whereas this one, if you're talking between the two and you've only got just under 400, around $400, it's pretty much a no-brainer that this one's going to be a better value for you out the box. But that's like I said, that's pretty much all I can talk about on these guys. I mean, without actually getting out and driving the Kaiju, which I plan on doing tomorrow, I can't really discuss anything more about it and really give full comparisons because I haven't pulled the trigger on it myself. So, it is something I plan on doing. And I'll definitely be honest with you guys. I'm going straight to my golf course spot with my ramps, and we're going to try to send it and get some good video of it. So if it holds up, I'll let you know. If it doesn't, you'll know that as well. And then of course we'll come back and we'll do the Outcast 6S version, or the Notorious, and we'll do a comparison then after I've had a chance to try this one. But guys, as far as the Maxx, man, don't feel bad if you bought a Maxx. You get yourself a good truck. You might have overpaid a little bit for something you could get that might be a little bit better overall as far as value, but you're still getting a good truck with the Maxx. And again, guys, feedback on this, please, if you could. Let me know how the shafts are holding up on this, because I'm not in any Traxxas forums anymore. I would love to get some more feedback on this, just to know how you guys think about the battery tray holder, the guys that have it, if it's a pain in the ass or not like it looks, or if it's just easy and I'm just not seeing it. And the shafts, again, how the shafts hold up. So, and if you guys have any other problems that you've noticed or seen with this truck, just so I can give people feedback when they're asking me more in depth, I'd like to know myself. So, and same thing, guys, if you get the Kaiju and you're running into all these problems or something, let me know. I just want to make sure I can talk to people about it the right way. And even though I'm not explaining things in my experience, I always will fall back on people, my customers' experience, and things that I've heard and seen on other groups. So I talk about all that stuff, guys. So I try to fill people in with the most information I can and let you make the best decision. And again, the Kaiju's here for $400. The Maxx is here for $529. If you got the money, maybe go Maxx. Maybe you go Kaiju and get some extra batteries. That's your decision. But if you guys have any questions, hit me up in the comment section. And I appreciate you all for watching.